So who's going first? Who's the special director today? Is that you? Michael?
How do you think Molly's like feeling so far?
I think like they've had well, she and her brother Kip have had their ups and downs, you know. Sometimes it gets scary and stuff.
Yeah. For the whole thing with the night gardener, I think she's probably kind of scared about that. She's trying to be brave so that she doesn't make her little brother scared.
What will you, Silver?
I think she is trying to be very protective of the people that she cares about, and her brother is the first one, and I think she cares about Penny a lot too, and I think she even cares about the Windsor family. So, what about you? What do you think?
Oh, I just forgot. It was just on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, maybe you can share with us in a little bit.
Why do you think that Molly's caring for them?
Caring for who?
Like, wait, is that his name?
She's not really caring for Kip, though. Do you have another question, maybe?
No.
Okay.
At the end, I hope I can remember.
I was the literary luminary, and on page 183, let's see. Okay, it's paragraph 4. It says, leaves swirled around them, spinning and swooping in a gentle, almost beautiful dance. I picked that passage because I like how it compares the leaves to the dancer. I really thought that was kind of made, I could really see the leaves just flowing perfectly together. And then page 188, paragraph 3, it says the nightman took a step closer, a poisonous grin on his face. If you look back a page or two, it says that his mouth was a curved scar. So when you think about it, you could just kind of see the curved scar in the mouth. That kind of is a bit creepy. Then page 191 says in paragraph 2 that it says, and then he would kneel down and fill his watering can with what? Sweat, tears, and something deeper. He would somehow steal the very click of Kip's beating, all to feed to the tree. It's really powerful because it means that he's basically stealing their soul, kind of kind of everything of them, and kind of takes the happiness out of them. Then on that same page, I found another one, like 6 and 7. I just thought it was kind of weird at first because it says Kip's eyes fell on something dark sitting at the edge of the garden, something the man had left behind. He hobbled toward it and knelt down to study the object. He picked it up with trembling hands. It was a small gift. It was small and thin and woven in whips and twigs. It was a gift. I just thought that it was kind of strange that the nightman gave him a gift. And at first I was wondering what the key was for.
Did you know it was a key right away?
Yeah, I kind of
figured.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Did you have a guess as to what it was?
Yeah, I about one of the other ones that when he's taking away, or you said it's like taking away his soul, kind of reminded me of Dementors.
Yeah, I put that in there too.
When I was reading it, that's all I could think of.
Yeah.
Wait, what is Dementors?
In Harry Potter.
It's in Harry Potter.
They kind of like suck away your soul, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Like every time I thought of it, I just thought of like a character that might look like Kip and like a Dementor thing.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing, and then I also had another connection to Harry Potter. The word pensive, they said somewhere. I wrote that down in my words. It's on page 193, so actually right in that area. So it's funny, Harry Potter was really in that area of the book. Pensive meant that you're engaged in, involving, or reflecting into deep or serious thought. And pensive remind me of pensieve. Do you remember in Harry Potter when they would like take the thoughts and put it in? So I was like, oh, that's perfect. That makes
You
sense.
put it into like a little, like it looks like a little bird then.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually reading that part in the book
Oh, you are?
right now. Yeah.
Oh,
it's the
good.
part I'm around at.
Yeah. Harry Potter books. Forgot him again. I
It's
told her
gonna
to
let
give
him
her mine.
read
Oh,
them,
really?
and
Yeah.
then you keep forgetting.
I always forget. I
Okay.
keep on forgetting.
What was your job? Or was that all you had for literary?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
those were.
Wait, so I put my finger here when Margaret said this on page 188. That's what my picture is based off of. Where it's supposed to be in Kip's perspective. It's not like this is just supposed to be some like rug. Not much scenery, but it's supposed to be in Kip's perspective. When he's watching Molly, and then it's hard to do it since it's on a paper, but it's supposed to be real, like laying down like this.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like when she falls, and the reason I picked it is because it was kind of like dramatic, where she just was like standing there, all of a sudden she just falls down, and I thought that was very like dramatic, so that's why I picked it.
That was kind of dramatic too. And it's like,
Yeah. Good. Let's see, connections. So I had the one to Harry Potter, but it wasn't the Dementors, but that could have been another Harry Potter connection. I had a connection to how Kip was feeling on page 194 when he said something about why was it not me? And I'm sure, he said, I kept asking myself why he didn't hurt me, Kip said, staring into the crowd. He wanted to, I could tell, but when he came at me, something stopped him in his cold in his tracks. So, I don't know, have you ever had that feeling like, oh, that should have been me, that, not like a good thing, but like, it should have been me that got sick or something like that. So I had a connection to that.
sometimes when I win something,
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have been me.
Yeah, like somebody else
Yeah, someone else.
could have benefited more.
Yeah, sometimes it
Yeah, like if like someone like in football, maybe if you're playing football with your friends, like sometimes I would be playing with them and I'd miss the catch and then it would drop and then like they get all mad at me, like it would drop out of my hands and someone else would catch it on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that should have been me. Like
Yeah,
now everyone's mad. So.
yeah.
I'm kind of the same in soccer. Sometimes I would miss a pass or something. And then every once in a while, I'll be like, someone won't be quite as open as I am, but they'll pass the ball to that person, and then I won't get it. And
Yeah.
I could have been able to get it up, and we could have scored, but instead the person passed it to someone else. So.
And then finally, they were just talking about how it was right before Mrs. Windsor collapsed and she was sitting outside and she looked like really like pale and pasty and everything, and how she just seemed really sick and she was like shaking as she was having her tea. But it reminded me of England and how they always have to have their tea no matter what. It's like at 2 o'clock every single day, the teachers would all get tea, like the secretaries would bring tea to the rooms, or like if you were not feeling well, they still offered you tea all the time. So I just thought that it was kind of funny how, you know, even though she's really sick and everything, it's like that's trying to keep up with the regular routine.
It's kind of interesting,
Yeah.
you know, everyday tea.
Yep.
I've never had tea before.
It was like 2 or 3 times a day, at least, so. Did you guys find any words at all this week?
I did. So,
Found one, but I didn't write it down.
I found the word haggle. It's on page 193, paragraph 4. It says, says that since they work for someone who's supposedly rich, it says because of this they seemed unwilling to haggle or bargain. I was like, that was kind of just an interesting word, so I looked it up, and it says that it means to like kind of argue for, like have a little bit of an argument, trying to figure out like she's trying to haggle with someone by kind of trying to reason with them.
Yeah, or like coming up with a fair price or some kind of trade. Good. I actually had a word on that page too. At the very top, that second line, it says peltry. It said, the tree's provisions lately have become so paltry. So it's an amount and it's very small or meager. So that made me think, like, is something going on with the tree? Like, is it running out of magic or what?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we've done 10 minutes. Next week, why don't you tell us, Michael, what we're all doing for our jobs, and what we have to read.
Next week,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Davis is going to be a luminary. Margaret's going to be the discussion director. I'm going to be the connector, and Mrs. What were you today?
What is the connectors day?
And Mrs. Orr will be the illustrator.
And we just have to finish the books.